Fox.
We are Wisconsin.
A warm welcome from Miller Park. The Brewers are back home where they belong, and so are the tailgaters. It's the Dodgers and the Brewers, the first of a three-game series as Milwaukee welcomes the hottest team in baseball. Well, the opening day starter and victor of the team's last win, Yovani Gallardo, gets the start tonight for Milwaukee, opposing Chad Billingsley, who's off to a terrific start, 2-0 with an 0.63 ERA, largely because of Matt Kemp's bat, the league leader in most offensive categories already this season. The reigning MVP is getting pushed by the Dodgers star, but Ryan Braun loves a challenge. You know that, and he is definitely up for it tonight against the Dodgers. Hi, everybody. I'm Craig Kashan. Welcome back to the broadcast here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. The Brew Crew opening up an all-important 9-game homestand that equals what will be the longest of the season, and they need a victory as they have dropped their last 4 games. The Dodgers off to a 9-1 start, have the best record in all of baseball. They won the World Series the last time they were 9-1, or even 10-1 for that matter. Guy doing the damage offensively is Matt Kemp. Look at his numbers, bordering ridiculous after 10 games. 487, 6 home runs, 16 RBIs, leads the league in all 3 categories. The Brewers, Yovani Gallardo back out on the hill. He started in Chicago last Wednesday, 7 strong innings, just 1 earned run, but that was the last time the team won. And Ryan Braun, his average looks nice. Now he wants to hit for power and drive home some victories for Milwaukee here at Miller Park. It is an MVP matchup in this 3-game series. BA and Rock explain why Braun versus Kemp could continue all season long.
Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. by Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota, when you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Roof is closed on a cool evening here in Milwaukee, and the headliners are out. Two of the game's brightest stars, Matt Kemp, second in the MVP voting last year. Ryan Braun, the reigning MVP, both in the lineup tonight as the Brewers match up with the hottest team in baseball, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Hi, everybody. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. Great to have you with us tonight. Brewers are very much looking forward to this homestand. It's 9 games. 3 different clubs will be in here, but this is the matchup that everybody's been anxious to see. Ryan Braun and Matt Kemp.
Yeah, you talk about 5-tool guys, and to define 5-tool, these guys' pictures should be in the dictionary somewhere. Great defense, power arms. They can hit the all field for home runs, batting average. They can steal bases. And, you know, Matt Kemp's numbers were great last year. Let's face it, so were Ryan Braun's. But I think there's a major difference in the at-bats, particularly in August and September, that Ryan Braun had to endure in a pennant race. I think the importance of each one of his at-bats had a lot to do with who won that MVP. Let's take nothing away from Matt Kemp. He's a tremendous star, but I think that was the big difference in the MVP voting last year.
Well, Matt Kemp has won back-to-back Player of the Week honors, and that's 3 in a row going back to last year. Meanwhile, Ryan Braun is hitting over 400 in his last 8 games, getting very little production ahead of the batting order. He has batted very few times this year with runners in scoring position. Hopefully, that is going to all change here in this series as the Brewers are back at Miller Park, a place they historically play very well. What a pitching matchup as well. Chad Billingsley, Giovanni Gallardo. It's the Brew Crew and the Blue Crew, and it's coming up next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And there is Ryan Braun leading the Brewers onto the field here at Miller Park, the first of a 3-game series. The Brewers and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And it's not just all about the offense and the 2 great stars, Braun and Kemp. We're going to get into some pitching tonight, and Jerry Augustine is going to join us from just outside the dugout. Jerry, No disrespect to your pitching. We do have a great matchup tonight in Billingsley and Gallardo, though.
Yeah, there's no question. And boy, it's nice to be down on the field. You know, it's great to be home, and it's great to have Giovanni Gallardo start this off. We'll be watching to see if he continue to do what he did last time out, having that good rhythm and that great command. And that matchup with Matt Kemp, it's going to be pretty special to watch. I'm really excited.
How's your hashtag tonight, Jerry? You good?
I'm excited. I'm ask the questions. I'll try to answer them for you.
Hashtag Ask Jerry is how you can tweet, and we'll be taking your questions. So Jerry's going to be joining us. It's going to be fun to have a pitcher's perspective and what we hope will be a great pitching matchup. As Giovanni Gallardo is ready to go, and his first pitch is low, and that's the way the evening begins here at Miller Park. D. Gordon leads off for Los Angeles. And Rock, we mentioned it briefly in the open, but the Dodgers, they've won 9 of their first 10 games. It's one of their best starts ever in franchise history.
Well, it comes down to 2 things, really. I mean, their pitching has been incredible, up amongst league leaders in ERA, and Matt Kemp and Andre Ethier for the offense. Nobody else for the Dodgers really doing a whole lot.
But Kemp and Ethier are doing a ton. And Kemp just named yesterday as the National League Player of the Week for the 2nd consecutive week. Well, already some barking from that LA dugout. Home plate umpire Jim Reynolds catching it from someone in there.
He's still looking in there. Somebody's got under his skin already.
Gordon rips one to right, a base hit. And D. Gordon, who hit over 300 last year as a rookie, singles to start it. Very fast base runner aboard. Let's check the lineup for the Dodgers. Brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. D. Gordon, Mark Ellis, Matt Kemp at the top. Middle of the order, Andre Ethier, Juan Rivera, and James Loney. And then the bottom 3, Juan Uribe, A.J. Ellis, and Chad Billingsley. Kind of a remade Dodger batting order around Kemp and Ethier. And the numbers on Giovanni Gallardo. He's had one terrible start and one very good start.
Yeah, great rebound against the Cubs. 7 innings for Yo, 1 earned run. He kept the ball in the ballpark, but you know, a nice turnaround start after a rough outing against the Cardinals.
Now D. Gordon is aboard. He requires a lot of attention. Had a 3 stolen base game last Saturday against the Padres, and already has 7 steals for the season. As you see, Jim Reynolds calling the balls and strikes. Mike DeMuro, James Hoy, and Jim Joyce on the bases. There's Jim Joyce. He's the crew chief. Gordon won't be there long, you don't figure.
Now that's why Gallardo is spending a lot of time taking a look at him, throwing over, and being very careful to make sure D. Gordon knows he's aware of him over there.
See, Gordon with 7 steals. He's only been caught once, leading the National League in that category. As Ellis trying to give him an opportunity to run. Mark Ellis coming to the Dodgers from the Oakland A's, was with the Colorado Rockies as well. He's a good number 2 hitter. He's perfect to hit behind a guy like Gordon and in front of Matt Kemp.
Yeah, not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. So he'll take some pitches, and he can hit behind the runner pretty well. He's pretty good at going to right. There he got him.
Hey, Gallardo picks off Gordon. Got him leaning, and Gallardo wipes out that leadoff single.
Yeah, good move by Yo. Kind of a jump move, and you see Gordon, he took a step towards second, and boy, that wasn't even close at first. Good job by Gallardo. That's how you help yourself. Boy, that was a big lead by Gordon, and really a one-way lead going towards second base.
That is such a big part of the Dodgers game plan, is to get Gordon on and get him in motion. As Ellis lifts one to right, Corey Hart is there. And out number 2. Well, you've seen Hart. Let's see the rest of the Brewers outfield with Morgan and Braun. Around the infield, it's Ramirez, Torres, Weeks, and Gamble. And behind the plate tonight, Jonathan Lucroy catching Giovanni Gallardo. The Brewers defense brought to you by Menards. Noticeably absent from the Brewers starting lineup tonight is Alex Gonzalez. And he is still with his wife. They delivered their first child on Saturday. Gonzalez was all set to return, but some complications post-delivery. Ron Renicky reporting that it's nothing serious, but it is enough to keep Alex back home. And the Brewers are a man short tonight, so they're playing with a roster that is one infielder, one position player short.
And when you have a struggling offense, it's even tougher when you don't have one of your big bats in the lineup. As Turris taken over at shortstop. Got a base hit on Sunday in Atlanta.
Third consecutive start for his Turris as Gallardo matches up against Kemp. And somehow the Brewers are going to have to slow down Matt Kemp, who leads the league in a ton of categories. All of these, every major offensive category, Matt Kemp is at the top.
And this is the way you want to face him, with 2 outs and nobody on. You can be careful with him, but Andre Ethier, no slouch in the on deck circle.
And it's 3 balls and a strike on Matt Kemp, and Gallardo keeps dishing baseballs away. Doesn't like the last 2 he's had. Kemp is 4 for 12 lifetime. Against Gallardo, the 3-1. And that one's ripped center field. Morgan is back, looks up. It is one hopped off the wall. And Matt Kemp cannot be stopped right now.
A 3-1 pitch, a fastball right down the middle. The amazing thing to me about Matt Kemp and his start, he's only walked 4 times. I mean, the opposition has not made any efforts really to pitch around him a whole lot. As we take a look at how Yo attacked Matt Kemp, that was really the best pitch that he was going to see in that sequence. It got to 3-1, and then Gallardo tried to shoot the outside corner with a fastball, and he just rips it off the wall in center field. And you can see that 4-seamer, and Kemp has not missed many fastballs this year. And Augie, do you sense that there's some crispness to Gallardo's pitches so far in the first inning?
Yeah, it looks like he's throwing the ball really well. I think to Matt Kemp there, he's just trying to get the strike down and away, stay away from him, make him go out and get a pitch. Just the first time up, let him know what he wants to do tonight. He just got behind him, came in with the fastball, challenged him, and Kemp hit the double to center field.
And fortunate to keep the ball in the ballpark. Kemp's the kind of guy that can send one out of here for a tally quickly. As Gallardo faces Andre Ethier now. And Ethier is off to a great start as well. He's driven in 15 on the young season, second only to Kemp in the National League. Ethier hitting .289 with 3 home runs and 15 driven in.
Man, the way these 2 guys, Kemp and Ethier, have been swinging the bats. You got first base open here. You got a right-hander on deck. And you can be careful. You don't have to throw strikes to Ethier in this situation. Have to figure out ways to avoid the 3 and 4 hitters in this Dodger lineup to beat you, particularly late in the game. And that's asking a lot when you have 2 guys like that. It's tough enough when there's 1.
Well, we got a terrific pitching matchup tonight with Gallardo and Chad Billingsley, who comes in as the National League's leader in earned run average. And a couple of guys that can hold offenses down, even the best hitters, when they're on their A game. Billingsley and Gallardo each making their 3rd start of the season tonight. A ball and 2 strikes on Ethier. Matt Kemp out at second. And a curveball short. Kemp on the run. He'll advance on a wild pitch.
And good block by Lucroy. Both Brewer catchers, George and Lucroy, have been doing a nice job keeping pitches in the dirt in front of him. And that's textbook by Luke, but just couldn't keep it close enough. And Kemp is able to get to third base. That's a good block by Lucroy.
Now that's the curveball that Gallardo likes to throw to get that swing and miss strike 3, but that one didn't have a chance to entice Andre Ethier. Now runner at third, and a swing and a miss. So Gallardo climbs the ladder a bit. Ethier down on strikes. A pickoff and a strikeout for Gallardo. A scoreless first. The Brewers are coming up against Chad Billingsley. Hoping to get the Brew Crew on track here at Miller Park, a place where they played so well last season. First of 9 here on the homestand. Piggly Wiggly batting order. Renicky has Weeks, Morgan, and Braun at the top. Middle of the order is Haramis Ramirez, Corey Hart, and Matt Gamble. And then Jonathan Lucroy, Cesar Izturis, and Giovanni Gallardo. Chad Billingsley is on the mound, and what a start he's off to this season, partner.
Yeah, 2-0, a .63 earned run average. He's made starts against the Padres and at home against Pittsburgh. Last time out against the Pirates. Won a game 4-1 and give up 1 run in 6 innings.
Well, last year Billingsley was 11-11 and the highest ERA of his career at 4.21. As he faces Ricky Weeks to get it started here. Weeks, Morgan, and Braun. The Brewers are in desperate need of production from the top 2 in their batting order. Weeks is hoping to provide some of that tonight.
Yep, got to get the top of the order going. Certainly, Ryan Braun's been swinging the bat well. But 3 of the top 4 have been off to a slow start.
Weeks coming in with 2 homers, 2 runs batted in. And he hits that one high and deep center field. Matt Kemp on the run at the wall. That is off the base of the wall. And Ricky Weeks with a booming double to start this one tonight.
Now a little excitement out of Ricky Weeks after that double. The guys need to get it going. They realize it. A nice off day yesterday to let them clear their heads, and Billingsley comes right down the middle with a fastball and over the head of Kemp in center. And a leadoff double. There's a good start for tonight.
Well, Matt Kemp covers a lot of ground in center field. He's very fast. It takes a bolt to get it over his head. So a double to start it, and now Nigel Morgan with Ryan Braun on deck. Billingsley makes a nice play, and now Weeks is caught off. Morgan racing his way to second, and he will make it to second base. And a bad base running move there by Ricky Weeks. It was a good play by Billingsley. I think Ricky thought it was by him.
Yeah, but once you make the mistake and you're Ricky Weeks, you stay in that rundown long enough to allow the hitter to get to second, which he did. So really nothing lost. Yeah, both of them run pretty well. The idea is for Ricky to stay in a pickle long enough to allow Morgan to get into second base, and that's exactly what he did. And now Billingsley, as he runs Ricky back, he gets rid of the baseball a little bit too early. I don't know why he just didn't tag him, but that allowed Morgan to get to second. That's good base running after bad base running by Ricky.
So Morgan ends up at scoring position. Now Ryan Braun, who got a great hand. Heard a lot of boo birds on the road, did Braun. Now he's finally in his comfortable surroundings. Didn't affect him much at the plate on the road trip. Braun's been swinging a very hot bat. He has had very few runners in scoring position during those at-bats so far.
And he has been stinging the baseball. He's hitting it very hard, just not getting under it a whole lot to get the home runs. And some of the line drives he's hitting, particularly to right field, have been scorched, which means he's singing the baseball pretty well. When you're doing that, the home runs are going to come.
Now Braun on the recent road trip, 8 for 23 at the plate, hit for a .348 average and drove in 3 runs. A Los Angeles native playing against his hometown team.
Now, when you talk about Ryan and runners in scoring position, he's only had 4 at bats with a man in scoring position in the first couple of weeks of the season. Not many.
Now that's 10 games into it as well. Well, he has one out there now. See if he can cash it in. Billingsley finds a corner. Those who have followed the Dodgers all spring and the first 2 starts for Billingsley this year say he has commanded that outside part of the plate like he did back in '08, which turned into an all-star campaign in 2009.
And he's doing it with two different pitches, really. He's got a pretty good fastball, a four-seamer, and he'll throw an occasional cutter. But the big difference in Billingsley right now is his changeup. It's been a good one.
And he strikes out Ryan Braun. So out number 2 on a K. Let's check the defense for Los Angeles, courtesy of Menards. Juan Rivera, Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier in the outfield. And then it's Uribe, Gordon, Ellis, and Loney around the horn, with A.J. Ellis doing the catching. 2 Ellises in the Dodger lineup.
That fastball, and Ryan Braun swings right through it at 93 miles an hour, a little bit underneath.
So 2 away. Here's Aramis Ramirez. And Billingsley finds a corner for strike 1. Well, Ramirez frustrated at his start. He was hoping that his historically slow starts wouldn't apply in a Brewers uniform with his games here at Miller Park. That was one of the theories about his slow starts throughout his career. Ramirez down the right field line. That is slicing foul in the seats.
And it's one thing to have a slow start that lasts a couple of weeks. It's another for a slow start to last 6 weeks. Now, with a couple of good games here, I mean, with the number of at-bats that he has, I mean, you could probably classify it as not a slow start. So certainly has an opportunity to turn things around quickly.
Well, Ramirez has 5 runs batted in, but just 4 hits on the season. 4 for 35 at the plate. Morgan out at second. Billingsley has Ramirez down 0-2. And that one's hit pretty well to right. Over is Ethier toward the wall over there, and he makes a catch for the out in foul territory. Side retired. Billingsley cold serve. We go to the second. Brewers Dodgers underway at Miller Park, Milwaukee. Roof is closed up. It's actually a beautiful night out for, you know, February, but it's just a little chilly. Temperatures are in the 40s here tonight, so the roof is closed. Very comfortable inside Miller Park. That's the beauty of this ballpark.
This is a perfect April night.
That's right. Really, I think that off season got me spoiled. You know, the mild winter we had.
You know, when we were in spring training, they were talking about, you know, temperatures in the 80s. We haven't seen any of that.
I didn't think March was going to be a warmer month than April, but it is. Now Gallardo facing Juan Rivera to start the second inning. Each club had a runner in scoring position in the first. Could not bring him in. Gallardo struck out Andre Ethier to strand Matt Kemp. There's a good pitch. 1-2 the count.
Well, Gallardo has had good command of his cut fastball, particularly good his last time out against Chicago. I think that was a cutter, that last pitch. What I'd like to see from Augie tonight is show us how to throw a cutter. Maybe the positioning of the baseball,
yeah,
you know, and maybe the finger pressure and how you release it.
He could let one go, throw it out into the outfield.
Yeah, throw it up here to the booth. I'll catch it.
I don't think Jerry has the arm for that anymore.
No, I beg to differ. Have you taken BP off Jerry?
Yeah, he throws a natural cutter. He was my fantasy camp coach, and he almost no-hit us. Jerry, still working on the cutter?
Yes, I am.
That was an easy pitch for you.
I'm trying to perfect it, actually.
I remember when I was with the Brewers, Augie come in, you know, after he got done playing, throwing BP, everybody hated it.
He's just breaking bats.
Yeah. He threw strikes, but he got everybody out.
There's a fly ball to Morgan. And there's out number one. Well, Jerry's down there to answer your questions. The man of the people tonight. And you can ask via Twitter at #@PoundAskJerry. So that's the spot. That's the handle. What's the key to a good pickoff move? P. Bedrosky, I'm taking a guess there, Jerry. What's your answer?
Well, I think it is all about tempo. You know, when you're on the mound, you have to have an understanding of the base runner, who he is, and you know the guys that can run. But so it's just about tempo. Sometimes you'll come set and throw over. I think what I like about Giovanni, when he didn't have first inning, he came set a couple of times and went right over to first base. The last time when he picked him off, he just held the ball a little bit longer to make the guy jump around a little bit. And as soon as he had a little jump to second base, he went over to first base and got him out. So two things: either holding the ball and watching the guy, having a good idea what that runner's going to do. Number one, to go over there, and secondly, as soon as you see him move, you make that quick move and make a good crisp throw to first base.
Yeah, and just like a good infield, you got to have quick feet. It all starts with the feet.
I agree, Rocky. It's all about, you got to know a little bit of what you want to do. And I think you see any pitcher who has a good pickoff move, they will change the tempo in which they throw the ball to first base. Sometimes they'll be quick, sometimes a little bit slower. And that kind of gets the runner to be a little on guard about what that pitcher's really trying to do.
And you don't have to be quick to home plate in order to hold base runners, like you just said. I mean, change up the rhythm a little bit, hold the baseball, step off, just keep them guessing a little bit.
That's good to have Augie with us. Jerry Augustine. You see him on our Brewers Live pre and post game shows. And with a great pitching matchup, it's going to be good to tap into some of his knowledge. Augie is, in all seriousness, he's a fantastic teacher. I've heard him instruct. We've had him on instructionals on Brewers Live post game shows, but a former college coach that really can break down mechanics. And as this game moves on, it'll be interesting to get his take from down on the field as Gallardo strikes out James Loney. He's got a lot of breaking balls in the repertoire here early tonight.
Yeah, it looked like a slider down and in. Maybe a changeup. That was a changeup by Yo. You see the grip on that baseball. Nope, slider, cutter. Something like, I'll get it right. It was something off speed. Sometimes it's tough to tell between the changeup and the cutter. The speeds are very similar. That was a good pitch.
So 2 outs for Gallardo, and here is Juan Uribe.
The grip, you can see the position of the fingers when he lets go of the baseball, and it's not that you have to turn your wrist at all to throw that pitch. It's just the position of your fingers on the baseball will dictate the spin, and that will allow the ball to move the way you want it to move.
There's so much talk about the cut fastball, and we talked to Freddie Gonzalez, the Atlanta Braves manager, and they do not like their pitchers throwing cut fastballs. They feel like it affects velocity. The Brewers are just the opposite. Rick Kranitz is a big believer in it, but it is a pitch that takes a little bit of feel. We saw just about every pitcher the Brewers had in spring training working on that cut fastball this spring.
Cut fastball, if it's used properly, is a good pitch. I mean, when you're behind an account, maybe a 2-1, 2-0 pitch, you get the hitter thinking fastball. It looks like fastball, but you might get him on the end of the bat and get an easy out. Sometimes you can overdo it with it, and you throw too many, it will affect your velocity even on your four-seamer.
Well, Gallardo has 2 gone and a 2-2 count on Uribe, and he whistles that one into center field, but Morgan is there, and a 3-up 3-down second for Giovanni Gallardo. Brewers are coming to bat. Corey Hart will lead off.
A 9-game homestand for Milwaukee. No score, bottom 2. And residents of Milwaukee, Ozark, Racine, Washington, and Waukesha counties can purchase half-price tickets to Brewers games starting today through the 21st. Some restrictions apply. Visit brewers.com/5county.
Chad Billingsley back on the mound for Los Angeles. Corey Hart leads off for the Brewers. Hart, Gamble, and Lucroy due up. Brewers got a hit off Billingsley in the first, a double by Ricky Weeks as Hart goes into left field, didn't quite get it, and Rivera slides and makes the catch for the out. Just missed it on the bat, did Corey Hart. Otherwise, you're looking at his 5th homer.
Yep, got it down on the end, out in front of a 90-mile-an-hour fastball was Corey. Another guy seeing the baseball pretty well. You can see right down toward the end of the bat. That's why it almost hooked foul and just didn't have the distance. Good play by Rivera and left.
So here's Matt Gamble, and there's strike 1. Gamble comes in, 9 hits and 36 at bats. That's a .250 average, has 1 RBI. Still looking for his first home run of the season. Just trying to get his feet wet as the Brewers' everyday first baseman. He's done a nice job. He's made a couple of errors this year, but he's made some nice plays. This is what's going to keep him in the lineup every day right here, his bat. We haven't seen a lot of Matt Gamble early in seasons. He's typically been down in the minor leagues. The book on him is that he's a slow starter as well.
I think he's been swinging the bat pretty well. Even some of the outs that he's made have been hit pretty well. He's using the opposite field, which means he's feeling comfortable at the plate.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Billingsley winds it up, and Gamble lifts one high in the air, deep right center, and it's gone. For Matt Gamble. There is number 1. And the Brewers have the first lead tonight.
Well, Matty waited back nicely on that pitch. That was looked like a cut fastball, and Matt Gamble able to knock it on out of here. Here it is. And it was. It stayed out over the plate, and Gamble knew it as soon as he made contact. You see the spin on it. That's a cutter. It didn't do much, and he knocked it out of here.
Well, for Matt Gamble, that is his 6th career home run. That's his first home run in the big leagues since 2009. He hit 5 that year. Very limited action for Milwaukee. He's finally on the board with a major league home run once again. 1-0 Brewers. Jonathan Lucroy at the plate.
I think the Brewers have to be pretty satisfied with his start. I mean, I don't think anybody thought he'd come out here banging the ball around at a 400 clip. I think he's done a pretty good job at first base. He's made some mistakes, but that's to be expected early on.
Gamble standing next to Johnny Naron. Johnny Naron raving about Gamble's approach. They've changed his setup just a little. Raised his hands in spring training, and Gamble said it made all the difference in the world. It put him on time, as he said. Got his rhythm back together. As Lucroy sends one high and deep. That's got a chance. Kemp at the wall. Reaches up and he dropped the baseball. Lucroy still running. And he's in at third with a triple. Jonathan Lucroy deep into center. That ball was dislodged by the wall.
Boy, that would have been a heck of a catch out there by Matt Kemp. But Lucroy got a fastball out over the plate. I thought when he hit it, it was out of here. There it is, right down the middle of the plate, maybe outer half a little bit. Look at Kemp go back and get it. Knew exactly where he was. Actually, he had a few more steps he could have taken. He didn't know where he was, actually. That deep warning track caught him.
Lucroy wide-eyed when he saw that ball drop. You're right about that. That's a great point. This is a much bigger warning track here than any other ballpark, certainly than Dodger Stadium. Outfielders say this is a 5-stepper, not a 3-stepper.
Right. I mean, if he kept going, which he could have because he wasn't up against the wall when he thought he was. Kind of jumped, he landed on the ground, and that's what cost him the out.
Now a break for the Brewers. See if they can pick him up as Cesar Izturis looking for his first RBI as a Brewer, the former Dodger. There's that sizable warning track.
It might be the widest warning track in all the big leagues. I think they say it's 22 feet.
Ever since this ballpark opened, that has been a big part of the home field advantage for the outfielders who know this track. They know how many steps it is. And now Matt Kemp's played here a number of times, but you can work on it as much as you want, but instincts take over here. He's concentrating on the baseball, and look at that.
Yep, most warning tracks are exactly where he started his jump, but not here.
Yeah, good call, Rock. So now Lucroy at third for Izturis. Ball and 2 strikes. 2-2 now. I remember Mike Cameron used to talk about that a lot. He used to spend a lot of time with Ed Cedar a few years back, playing fly balls and tracking fly balls with that warning track just to get the feel in his feet.
Well, it used to be a big issue the first couple of years. We haven't seen too many outfielders have much of a problem with it since.
There's Ed Cedar, third base coach. He'd love to wave one more home. Lucroy and Kataris continue to put up big offensive numbers. Izturis back up the middle and the draw in infield. Lucroy will score. And it's 2-0 and Cesar Izturis filling in for Alex Gonzalez delivers run number 2.
Well, Billingsley had come in, allowed only 1 earned run. Brewers with 2 earned runs on the board here in the second. A high fastball, and Izturis able to punch it through that drawn in infield. That for an RBI. There you go. Making the most of his chance to play.
Third start in a row for Cesar Izturis. Won a Gold Glove as a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And now does some damage to his old team. 2-0 Brewers. It was interesting that late in that at bat, as Izturis got the 2 strikes, Don Mattingly brought his infield in. That cost him there. Gallardo pulls it back. fouls it away. The old Butcher Boy play.
Yeah, Yo can do that. I mean, he's a pretty good hitter. Ron Renicky maybe giving Yo an opportunity for a big Brewers second inning.
Three consecutive hits for Milwaukee. Gamel's home run, which was measured at 420 feet. And the Lucroy triple as Turris had the RBI single. Oh, and 2 on Gallardo.
It's like Billingsley's having a tough time getting his fastball down in this game. A lot of his fastballs up around the belt. He's had 2 terrific starts. You would think that at some point he's due for a rough one. Maybe tonight's the night.
Yeah, well, Chad Billingsley had only given up 1 earned run in 2 starts, 14 in the 3rd innings leading up to this game. Brewers have put 2 on the board in this inning. Gallardo bunts it foul, unable to advance is Turris. And there is out number 2. Jerry Augustine down in the dugout. Chad Billingsley starting to get back to his 08 form when he was a 16-game winner. What's his scouting report?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's got 4 quality pitches, and it looks like tonight he likes to pitch with his fastball. He's got a good curveball, slider, and a change. It looks like tonight he's trying to locate his fastball, missing a little bit, and the Brewers are taking advantage of him. Tonight, likes to locate the fastball and then go to his breaking ball, which is very good. Tonight he's getting it over the plate. The Brewers are taking advantage.
And the other thing early in this game, Hog, is the fact that Billingsley coming in, everybody talking about his changeup. Haven't seen too many.
No, he hasn't thrown a lot of changeups. I think tonight he tried to dominate the Brewers by showing him that fastball early, and sometimes pitchers will go out and they'll say, you know what, I want to start with my fastball, get good command of that fastball to all 4 spots, and then I can use my changeup and my good breaking ball later on in the game.
Yep, second time through, we'll see.
2 outs in the inning. Ricky Weeks at the plate with his Turris at first. And Weeks slicing one. Ethier was very deep. Ellis is out. Hey, that's a fair ball. Bounces into the seats for a ground rule double. His Turris will have to return to third base.
Yeah,
he knew Ethier wasn't going to get there.
Yeah, he knew he was going to be able to score had that ball stayed in play. Good job by Cesar Turris to run hard the whole way on a pop-up. Ricky Weeks as well. And you see Ricky, this ball almost hits the chalk. Yeah, about 2 feet inside and inside the fair territory. That ball stays in here. Cesar Turris, he scores.
Oh, and he's really fast. So back to third base goes his Turris. The Brewers have hit for the team cycle in this inning against Billingsley. Starting with a Gamble homer. Lucroy had the triple. Weeks' double, and his Turris had the single. And now Morgan a chance to add to the lead.
Yeah, this would be huge right here, a base hit.
This is a spot where Nyjer Morgan feasted last year, hitting ahead of Ryan Braun. Pitcher falls behind in the count, and no doubt A.J. Ellis is having this discussion with Billingsley. They're going to come right after Nyjer Morgan.
Yeah, 2-1 fastballs right down the middle because of Ryan Braun being on deck.
Morgan gearing up for a big pitch coming from Billingsley. Two balls and a strike. Kemp plays very shallow in center, but Ethier is deep in right, even with Morgan at the plate. Both have strong throwing arms. Yeah, there's another one. That was a better located fastball than the 2-0 pitch, but Billingsley's right back in the count.
Yeah, dart right on the outside corner at the knees. I mean, that's what Billingsley's been doing in his first 2 starts, locating pitches right there. Hasn't thrown many at that spot today.
2-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And that puts Morgan back in the driver's seat here. Some anxious early moments for the Dodgers skipper, Don Mattingly. Bouncer, Loney, and the side is retired. So Billingsley able to get out of it, but the Brewers score twice, go for the team cycle. Gamble's homer, his first of the year, started it. Lucroy had the triple, Ethier the single, and Rick first major league home run since 2009. And he put the Brewers on the board 1-0. Ethier drove in Lucroy for the other ribby after Lucroy tripled. 2-0 Crew as we go to the 3rd inning. Dodgers coming up against Gallardo. A.J. Ellis, Los Angeles catcher, at the plate. Well, Gallardo retired the side in order in the 2nd. He has 2 strikeouts thus far. Punched out Ethier and James Loney in this game. And finds a corner. 1-2 the count on Ellis. '31-year-old Dodger catcher A.J. Ellis. Dodgers remaking their roster a little bit. They've got a lot of hope in Los Angeles, not just the 9-1 start, but new ownership with Magic Johnson at the front, Stan Castens. Ethier, and Ellis is retired. So 1 away for Gallardo. We'll keep the pitching thing going here. Our carsoup.com email the booth question from Trent. Do you think baseball is getting back to being a pitcher-dominated game? I know Jerry Augustine would love to answer this, but your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's time to lower the mound a little bit, I think. Back to the late 60s. But the league earned run average in the National League 3.61, and in the American League 4.08. There is one team in the American League with an ERA under 3. That's the Texas Rangers. What a surprise that is, huh?
Right.
Over the years. 2.30. A number of teams in the National League, actually 5 of them. Who would have thought going into the season that the Tampa Bay Rays would have an ERA right now at 6.04?
Yeah. Well, you look at the Angels, the Brewers, teams that were supposed to pitch well,
right,
are not. And some teams that you're not thinking of, like the Washington Nationals, for example,
right,
pitching very well.
Well, early, it's early yet, and things are going to change. The Brewers earned run average is not going to be in the 5s very long. Too good of a starting rotation, but you can understand last year, pitching dominating early in the year, Augie, and you can talk to this about cold weather and trying to hit in cold weather. It's not any picnic to pitch in cold weather, but hitting can be a problem.
Well, Billingsley strikes out. That's the third Gallardo strikeout. As we see the Gallardo breaking ball on the corner to get the Dodger pitcher.
Yep, cut fastball. And there you go. You see the rotation of it off the outside corner, and Billingsley swings right through it.
That's some great camera work out there to capture the spin of that baseball. Our Exmo camera gives you a beautiful look at the various pitches from Gallardo and Billingsley. There's a bunt. Gotta hurry. Ramirez bare hands throw is in time. One of the fastest runners in all of baseball, D. Gordon. But Ramirez was ready. Outstanding play by the Brewer third baseman. And a 1-2-3 inning for Gallardo. Ready to lead off as we head to the bottom of the third inning. 2-0 Milwaukee. Brewers lead after 2 runs in the second inning on Billingsley. Brewers strung together 4 hits in the second inning. They have 5 hits overall, and all but one of them have gone for extra bases. Gamble has a homer and a couple of doubles and a Lucroy triple as Braun takes a big cut. Braun comes in batting .343 with a home run, 4 runs batted in. And that hit him. Billingsley drills Braun in the back.
Trying to come inside on Braun. He just missed his spot. Billingsley doesn't hit many. He doesn't come inside all that often. This one gets away. Up and in.
That has always been the knock on Chad Billingsley, is that he is not aggressive enough pitching inside, letting hitters get too comfortable. Now we'll see if Braun is on the move here at first base, and there he goes, and a throw to second in time. Braun is out. He disagrees with a call by James Hoy, the second base umpire. Ellis cuts him down.
Boy, what a quick release by A.J. Ellis. Yeah, not blessed with the cannon that you see from some catchers, but as quick a release as you're going to see. And I'll tell you, that was close. Brony could have been in there. Watch the release. How quick is that? And right on the money.
As Ramirez takes a big cut at the end of that play.
And that ball beat him. And he was safe. Yep, he's in there.
Ramirez into right, playable for Ethier. And there is out number 2.
And for just $13, Fair Friday packages include 1 ticket to Friday Brewers games and admission to the 2012 Wisconsin State Fair presented by U.S. Cellular. Visit brewers.com/State Fair.
Chad Billingsley with 2 out here in the Brewer 3rd inning. And Corey Hart will bat for the 2nd time. He flew out to left his last time up. It was a sliding catch down the line by Rivera. Hart just missed it on the bat. Now the Dodgers are 9-1 coming into play. If you look at their franchise history, the only start in Dodger history better than this one. They were 10-0 to begin the season in 1955. That was the year they won the World Series. Dim bums finally beating the New York Yankees after many tries. Jackie Robinson was on that team, but 9-1. That's number 2 on the Dodger list for fastest starts.
A long, rich tradition of baseball, so that gives you an idea how good this start is.
1981, there was a World Series championship year as well. They started 9-1.
Obviously a big sigh of relief now that the ownership situation has been resolved in LA. A group headed up by Magic Johnson. There's some stability now with the Dodgers.
And that ownership is in place. A $2 billion price tag. That's with a B. Hart to Gordon. And there is the final out of the 3rd inning. Billingsley a scoreless 3rd. We're headed to the 4th at Miller Park. Gallardo protecting a 2-0 lead as we go to the 4th. Gallardo has been sharp tonight. And that leads us to our AT&T trivia question. How many current Dodgers have played for the Brewers in their career? Got a few of them over there in that 3rd base dugout. AT&T trivia question. We'll let you mull on that one for a little bit.
I think one guy's a trick question.
Oh, yeah? Here's Mark Ellis leading off.
Because he wasn't with the Brewers very long.
Just a brief tenure.
I mean, real short. I'm talking just spring training.
That's some familiar faces pouring out of that Dodger clubhouse today. And to a man, those who have spent any time at Miller Park enjoyed their experience a great deal as Ellis pops it up to Ricky Weeks for out number 1.
Yeah, good job by Yo. 2 times in a row facing Matt Kemp with nobody on base. It's so important to get number 1 and 2 in the batting order, you know, before Kemp comes to the plate. I mean, every pitcher has to worry about the first and second hitter, but especially with a guy like Kemp walking to home plate.
Well, Matt Kemp, he banged one off the center field fence back in the first inning. It was a double. Only 2 hits that Gallardo has allowed came in the first. A leadoff single by Gordon. Gallardo quickly picked him off, and then Kemp doubled. So here he is again for the second time. We were covering a Dodger Brewer game this spring, and that was when Matt Kemp verified that he thinks a 50-50 season is possible. 50 homers and 50 steals. It's never been done in baseball. He was a 40-40 player, close to a 40-40 player. He had 39 homers last year, stole 40 bases. Thinks that's certainly in the realm of possibility. He and Braun were the 30-30 members last year. Braun 33 homers, 30 steals.
That would certainly be quite a feat to do that in Dodger Stadium. 50 homers. That hadn't been done much.
He already has 6. Big cut. You made a good point in our open talking about Kemp and Braun and the comparison. Those two, they're buddies. They talk to each other in the offseason. Obviously, they've been on all-star teams lately. You see Lucroy wear one in the mask. But I agree with you. There's a big difference. The seasons, the statistics are in Kemp's favor if you just look at the stats. But you got to think about the stressful at-bats as Gallardo punches out Matt Kemp. A slider from Gallardo, and Kemp is strikeout victim number 4.
Good job by Giovanni on 5 pitches. He fell behind 1-0. Didn't miss the outside corner by much. That's what got him back in the count. A little off-speed pitch, 1-1, and then a fastball right down the middle. Very aggressive with Matt Kemp. And then the off-speed pitch off the outside corner, and 5 pitches able to strike him out. That's a good sequence. Good job by Lucroy to go right to it. Didn't have to shake it off. And we talked about that comfort level in Brewers live pregame today, and I think Gallardo and Lucroy are starting to experience that. They kind of know what each other's thinking before it happens.
Well, Andre Ethier, that one's in the air to left. Braun eases over. And a 1-2-3 inning for Gallardo, including a strikeout of Matt Kemp. Be Matt Gamble to lead off for Milwaukee as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning, coming off his first home run of the season, his last time up. Back in the second inning with one away. Gamble with 2 strikes. Unloads on one. Rock, they measured this one at 420 feet.
Yeah, cut fastball, slider, something that really didn't do much, and Matt able to wait back and knock it out of here. And no doubter for Gamble. Quick hands for Matt. We've been watching that all spring.
Well, that adds to our Powerball home run leaderboard. Right now, the Brewers are led by Corey Hart. Kataris has 3. Alex Gonzalez has hit a pair. Gonzalez, if you're just joining us, not with the ball club tonight. Hopefully he'll be here tomorrow. As Gamble rips it to center, but Matt Kemp is there for the out. Took up a divot in center field, made a nice catch.
Yep, the advantages of playing shallow. I mean, when you can have a center fielder play shallow like Kemp, and he does that because he's not afraid to go back on a ball. He does it very well. He can take away base hits in front of you. Boy, Gamble smokes this one, a fastball away from him, and Kemp played it well. There's going to be a lot more baseballs landing in front of you than over your head. When you can play shallow like that, you'll help your pitcher.
Lucroy into shallow center. And it's going to be Gordon who makes the call and the catch. I think he was waiting on Kemp. But out number 2 here. 2 quick outs in the fourth for Chad Billingsley. Take it back to our AT&T trivia question. How many current Dodgers have played for the Brewers in their career? And there's the answer. Jamie Wright. Good one. Chris Capuano. He signed a 2-year deal with the Dodgers. You got Tony Gwynn, Todd Coffey.
They didn't even have Matt Trainer on that list. He was in spring training with Milwaukee.
That's right. So I guess technically he wasn't a Brewer, even though it was a very popular spring training Brewer.
I think it got by him.
I'm going to vouch for him. Brian Mikulajic normally doesn't. He didn't play for the Brewers.
What a surprise. My partner.
I mean, if you go into the baseball register, right? By the way, Capuano will start tomorrow for LA. He'll be matching up against Zach Greinke. Remember, it was Capuano who threw one behind the back of Ryan Braun in a spring training game, creating a little interest there.
So if Matt Trainer catches him tomorrow, I can't say a couple of former Brewers.
I guess you can in your own rock way.
That's just the rules are always changing. Tough to keep up.
Turris taps it foul. I hear you though.
No, you don't.
I hear you.
I get what you're saying. I mean, regular season. All right.
How big was Matt Trainer though for the Texas Rangers? You know, he was traded from the Brewers to the Rangers.
Right at the end of spring training.
And proved to be a very valuable pickup for Texas. He actually had some terrific performances down the stretch and into the postseason last year, including a home run against the Yankees in the ALCS a season ago.
Yeah, but,
2 seasons ago.
That spring came down to Matt Trainer and Will Nieves, if you recall, backing up Greg Zahn.
Here's Loney, and Billingsley is there. I didn't see a lot of Matt Trainer discussion happening so early in the broadcast today. Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine.
And tonight, Tanner, the game winner is Winging It Bar and Grill in Helensville. You know where that is, don't you?
That's east of Jefferson, if I'm not mistaken.
Well done, Mike Faulkner. If the Tavern Contact calls the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite Beer Pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Yovani Gallardo back on the mound. He starts inning number 5 here against the Dodgers, working on a 2-hit shutout through the first 4. Both of the hits came in the first inning. And Juan Rivera leads off for LA. Rivera and Ethier flip-flop in the batting order depending on who's pitching. It's a left-hander on the mound. Rivera typically hits cleanup behind Matt Kemp. With a right-hander on the mound, he's in the 5-hole, and he rips that one into the gap in left center. That's going to go to the wall. Rivera for extra bases. It's a leadoff double for the Dodger left fielder.
And Rivera off to a pretty good start, hitting over 280. Got a pitch out away from him. He just hammers that one into the gap in left center. Pitch up by Yo. Check it out. Fastball right down the middle. And quick hands by Rivera. And shoots that one for a leadoff double. Missed his spot. He wanted it away.
Rivera can be one of the streakiest hitters in baseball. And you hope he doesn't dial in that bat here in Milwaukee. So he's at second. Now James Loney. Still a lot of questions surrounding James Loney and how productive he'll be at the bat. He's a terrific defensive first baseman. For so many years, the Dodgers were praising their minor league system, and it was really the three amigos down there: Loney, Matt Kemp, and Andre Ethier. Kemp has just blown up. He's turned out to be one of the best players in the game. Ethier's been a great talent. Loney hasn't quite gotten there yet.
Yep, a career 288 hitter in the major leagues. Hasn't been able to hit for the power that you would expect out of a first baseman, but yeah, back-to-back years, 08 and 09, he had 90 RBIs. That's fallen off somewhat since.
Now Jerry Augustine, a quick conversation between Lucroy and Gallardo after the leadoff double.
Well, I think what was going, Jonathan Lucroy saw something in his delivery a little bit. He's been overthrowing that breaking ball a little bit, not getting it over for strikes, kind of overthrowing it. Just to settle him down and say, just go out, try to execute, relax, and throw a pitch for a strike.
Ball and a strike on Loney, and he fouls it away. Jerry, I wanted to ask you about the Lucroy-Gallardo combination, because Gallardo pitched to Kataris in that terrific game he had at Wrigley Field, and all of a sudden it's Lucroy back there today. Any difference for a pitcher when you change your battery mate?
Well, I think when you look at these two guys, when you got Kataris and Jonathan Lucroy, these guys really catch their pitchers a lot. They have a good relationship with them, and that's what you want, and they're compatible. They're very similar behind the plate in the way they call a game. So I think with Yo, he just wants a guy to take control, let him know when he's not throwing the ball well, what he has to do to correct it, and I think Jonathan Lucroy does that very well for him.
And I think the Brewers are blessed the fact that they have two catchers that are pretty good at understanding what the pitcher that day wants to do to the hitters.
I totally agree with you, Rock. I think the one thing as a pitcher, you have that, when you have that catcher back there that you have confidence in, and that's what they have in both of the catchers the Brewer have, that makes a big difference in how you approach and how you go into each game.
And another visit by Lucroy. That's a good point, though. You know, Gallardo, the book on him, Rock, is that he's not a take charge pitcher in how he calls a game. You know, he's a guy that will allow his catcher.
He follows the catcher pretty much. He doesn't shake off a whole lot. He will from time to time, but for the most part, he just follows what the catcher wants to throw down.
That would be the exact opposite from a guy like Randy Wolf. So you don't see a lot of shakeoffs typically with Gallardo unless Lucroy wants him to shake off. but that can allow him to get into a rhythm, and there's two schools of thought on that. If he's pitching well, stick with your catcher.
I've never been a big proponent of, a certain pitcher has to throw to a certain guy. In the case of Wolf and Kataris, it works out well because it gives Lucroy a day off, and he knows he's going to get a day off at least every 5 days. That's good for both of them.
Loney back up the middle, a base hit. Rivera got a late start and will be held around third. Rivera had to freeze on that line drive just to make sure it was going to go through. But now the Dodgers threaten first and third, nobody out. Gallardo is at the bottom of the Los Angeles batting order, so there's a way out of this inning.
Yeah, it just seemed as though Gallardo and Lucroy just couldn't get on the same page how to attack Loney in that at bat. And sometimes when a pitcher, wants to try and do one thing, he's convinced to do something else. I don't know if that was the case, but sometimes you're not going to give the best effort, and that's why you always, acquiesce to the pitcher when you're calling a game behind home plate. Whatever he believes in, that's what he's gonna give you his best effort on.
Well, a very important hitter for Gallardo early here. We're in the fifth. Dodgers are down 2-0. Juan Uribe is the batter. He's in the second year of a 3-year contract after a huge World Series run for the Giants in 2010. And he slices that one. Hart will watch it go on the seats. Uribe has not done much as a Dodger. Dodgers signed him with hopes that he'd bring some veteran leadership, be a guy who could perform in a pennant race and into a postseason. The Dodgers never really got themselves in that position last year. In the air, Weeks is back, and he wants it. Rivera's going to tag. Here he comes as Ricky drops the ball, but they're going to say he's out. Drop the exchange. The run scores. Rock, I'm not sure Rivera takes off if Corey Hart makes that catch.
Right. I mean, Corey was there, and Ricky was very adamant about wanting to catch that baseball. Now he's backpedaling. Corey Hart's coming in. Certainly the momentum for Corey would have been much better for a throw to home plate. Now, that's one where you have to just let the right fielder take over. I'm not sure if Corey ever called him off or not, but you can see he clearly caught the baseball and dropped it when he tried to make a throw. That's a run that should not have scored.
You can almost see it in Rivera's body language at third base once he saw that it was going to be Weeks to make the catch. Took off, runner goes, and the throw to second is right on the bag. Loney cut down by Lucroy. Out number 2 at second base.
Yeah, good catch and throw by Lucroy. It doesn't get any better than that, and all starts with the quick feet. Lining yourself up, squaring those shoulders up, and look how quickly he gets rid of that baseball right over the top. Straight as a string all the way down to second base, and that wasn't an easy pitch to throw on. Down and away, always tough for a catcher, but that's not even close at second base.
You could see by the pop of the mitt on Ethier, that one had some finishing kick to it.
And a lot of times on a pitch down and away to a right-hander, a catcher will be a little bit lazy with the feet, not square himself up. The arm will drop, and that ball just sail into right center. Lucroy did a good job with the feet on that.
That one's hit hard into left center, and it's down. Braun will chase it to the wall, and A.J. Ellis is in with a double. So the third Dodger hit in this inning. A 2-out double. Makes you wonder if there was a missed sign on the Loney caught stealing, as Ellis rifles one in the gap.
If you make a mistake in the big leagues, even a number 8 hitter is going to hit one hard. He stings that one into left center.
By the way, that play to Ricky Weeks, that's going to be an E4 on Ricky to allow the run to score. So no sac fly, no RBI. As Billingsley fouls one back. So Uribe's out on an F4 and then an E4 that allows Rivera to score the run. And the Brewers have now committed 12 errors on the season. This is game number 11. That's an area the Brewers must clean up moving forward.
And they thought they had solved that problem during the offseason.
Billingsley is hitless this year. He's 0 for 6. Gallardo struck him out in the 3rd, trying to make quick work of him here in the 5th. Got him. Inning over. But a run scores on an error. 2-1. The Brewers lead the Dodgers as we go to the home 5th. Now good game going so far. Well pitched at this point. 2-1. The Brewers have the lead over the Dodgers. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder, Telly Hughes, and Jerry Augustine joining us as well for this terrific pitching matchup between Chad Billingsley, the league's leader in earned run average, and Yovani Gallardo. Gallardo leads off here in the bottom of the 5th. Yovani struck out Billingsley to in the top of this inning, and Yo now with 5 strikeouts. Hasn't walked a batter yet. There was a stretch of 10 in a row retired by Gallardo before Juan Rivera led off the last inning with a double. It's an unearned run at this point as Gallardo bounces to D. Gordon, and there's out number 1. Well, we're encouraging you to get interactive with us here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Hashtag Ask Jerry. Here's a question. Mike Vasallo 13, of course, never afraid to insert himself into the telecast. Hey Jerry, what was Rock like as a teammate? Did you envision him becoming a great broadcast journalist he is today?
Mike Vasallo, a trick question right there. No, you know what? Playing with Rock, you know, your catchers take on a different personality. They, you know, the guys are in the game. They've got to be friends with the pitchers. They got to understand them. They have to respect them. But Rock was the guy that was always ready to help a pitcher. And you know what? He had he has a great sense of humor and a fun guy to be around. So I tip my hat to Rock.
I was one of the most popular guys down in that bullpen. I will say that.
It's always fun. I'll tell you what. There's always things going on. Rock was always in the center of it.
Yeah, you know, you two have a good connection, the bullpen connection as well. Is that Jerry? You talking Rock pre-mullet or post-mullet?
I'll tell you a little bit of both, probably.
My playing days were all mullet.
All mullet.
All mullet. All the time.
I'm trying to be nice.
That's a problem. Jerry's too nice. We'd like him to stir it up a little more. So, like Mike Vasallo did, you two can send your questions in. Not sure how that one made it through the gatekeeper, but it did.
Yeah.
As it usually does.
I'm glad Augie was nice.
Little tapper. Gordon got a great arm, and he takes care of Ricky Weeks. All right, now we have a real question. I understand. So get ready, Augie. Question is, what do pitchers do to stay fresh in between starts? Chris Ensign wants to know.
Well, you have a routine. I think there's the day after you pitch, you kind of go through a fairly good workout. You might throw and stretch your arm out, get it, see how it feels, and then the second day maybe do a little bit of long toss. If you're in a 5-man rotation, that third day is usually your throwing day. What you want to go out, you want to work on the things that you need, like a Giovanni Gallardo will work on his rhythm, making sure he gets his arm in a good spot to throw his pitches. And you might throw 40 to 50 pitches. You rest a day, then you go pitch.
Nigel Morgan out to second, and Billingsley with 3 ground ball outs goes through the order in order. 5 in the books at Miller Park. Brewers have the lead. We head to the 6th. A reminder that the Brewers and Bucks will be shown live simultaneously tomorrow on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Rock, you ask how the Brewers game will be right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin, and the Bucks and Wizards will be on the Fox Sports Wisconsin alternate channel. That starts at 5:30. So you can just log on to foxsportswisconsin.com. All the information is there. The channels for the major distributors as well. D. Gordon leads off for Los Angeles. Top of the order, Gordon, Ellis, and Kemp. And we'll see if Gallardo can push through this batting order third time through. Started to hit him a little bit last inning. Dodgers with a run on 3 hits. And by the way, that is an earned run off Gallardo, even though the run scored on an error. The double by Ellis makes it earned.
Right.
So Billingsley gave up 2 runs in the second. Gallardo's came in the 5th. Speedy D. Gordon, son of a big leaguer, Tom Gordon. And he swings and misses. Lucroy secures the strikeout, out number 1. Strikeout number 6.
Let's check out our keys to the game, brought to you by GMC. A good start to the night for Giovanni Gallardo. No walks, 5 strikeouts so far. Matt Gamble with his first home run of the year. Here's the Brewers a 1-0 lead, and Cesarius Turris drives in Jonathan Lucroy, who tripled. Yeah, Uribe, a short fly ball in the short right field. Ricky dropped it for an error, and Juan Rivera scores run number 1 for Los Angeles.
Well, Gallardo with 6 Ks now, no walks. He's given up 5 hits to the Dodgers. Facing Mark Ellis. Dodgers come in the hottest team in baseball, winning 9 out of 10 to start the year. Los Angeles played the Padres and the Pirates to start the season. 2 rounds with the Padres. They swept San Diego in their last series leading up to this series here in Milwaukee. They've won 6 in a row. Started with a 4-game series in San Diego. They took 3 out of 4 from the Padres. Now, those who cover the Dodgers, quick to point out, Dodgers haven't had a tough schedule, but I don't buy that argument this time of year. San Diego, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you run into a hot pitcher for any of those 2 teams. I mean, you make it tough, but hey, 9-1 is 9-1. I don't know. I don't care who you're playing.
Yeah. 2-2 pitch. He is on the corner. Gallardo rings up Ellis. Got him with a fastball. 7 strikeouts for Giovanni Gallardo.
Yep, right on that outside corner. Yo able to throw that 4-seamer right on the corner to get him back-to-back strikeouts. Well, you can see Yo able to balance himself on his back leg and just drives off of the pitching rubber, using his legs, taking the pressure off his arm.
So 2 men are out, back-to-back Ks, and another showdown for Gallardo against Matt Kemp. Kemp bounces to third. Ramirez. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. Gallardo's strongest of the night, perhaps. Couple of strikeouts in the 6th. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Hey, this Sunday, our fans attending the Brewers-Rockies game will get a Jonathan Lucroy bobblehead. That's courtesy of Quick Trip.
Now, Lucroy has a triple tonight, scored a run, scored the second run, and right now that's the run that has the Brewers on top. Bottom of the sixth from Miller Park, and Ryan Braun will lead off. It's the second time that Braun has led off an inning, and that's been kind of the story for the Brewers offensively. You don't want Braun leading off innings very often. You'd rather him up there with men on base.
Yep, had a man at second base his first time up, but Billingsley made some pretty good pitches. Only 5 times this year has Ryan Braun come up with a man in scoring position. That's got to change.
Braun is 0 for 1. Billingsley drilled him in the back in the third inning. A hit batter. Billingsley strung together some outs now. He's retired 8 in a row since he hit Braun to start the third. Braun was immediately wiped off the bases, caught stealing at second base. Center field. Kemp is there for out number 1. Now a reminder that Fox Sports Wisconsin Outdoors showcases the ultimate in outdoor programming every Saturday and Sunday morning. You can experience everything from the pursuits of fish and game to exploring the best weekend destinations. Fox Sports Wisconsin Outdoors, Saturdays 6 a.m. Sundays 7:30 a.m. That's a perfect look for Sunday viewing. Ramirez, center field, playable for Kemp. And Aramis is 0 for 3. His struggles continue at the plate. He's frustrated. You can tell that's about as much reaction as you'll get out of Ramirez.
Yeah, talking to Johnny Nairn about Ramirez, he says he's getting to the ballpark early every day, and everybody realizes this is a results-oriented business, but I tell you, it's not lack of effort by Ramirez. He's coming out early and working hard in the cage and on the tee. There's some guys, for whatever reason, just get off to a slow start just about every year, and Ramirez has been one of those guys. But still, ultimately, has been able to put up some big numbers.
I think about a guy like Mark Teixeira, historically a slow starter the Yankees, but historically puts up big numbers, and hopefully that's the case with Aramis Ramirez. But you can't take it for granted. You don't know, and he's certainly not, and you know Johnny Nairn is not.
And that's why he's out here, getting out here early every day.
The new hitting coach, Johnny Nairn, brother of Jerry, the bench coach. Down the line, oh, terrific play. Uribe, long throw, and how about James Loney? What a pickup at first. Terrific play on both ends, robbing Corey Hart of a base hit. And the inning is over. And these two pitchers, Gallardo and Billingsley, as advertised thus far. Our game summary, if you're just picking us up, it's courtesy of Toyota. Yovani Gallardo and Chad Billingsley, they've been on their game. Brewers got to Billingsley in the second, the only run-producing inning. Gamble hit his first homer of the year. And then it was Cesar Izturis driving in Jonathan Lucroy. 2 runs. The Brewers hit for the cycle as a team that inning. The Dodgers run came on a rookie Weeks error on Rivera scoring as Weeks was trying to make the exchange. Andre Ethier down the right field line. It's in and out of the glove of Corey Hart. Ethier running hard all the way. He's into second base with a double. So with a bang here, Ethier is aboard. Hart gave it a great effort, but unable to squeeze it.
Yeah, not messing around. Going early in the count, a cut fastball that stayed in on him and didn't hit it all that hard, but Corey Hart playing deep should have had it. Actually overran it just a little bit with a slide, and a leadoff double for the Dodgers.
Dodgers have had their leadoff man aboard in 3 of the 7 innings. And there's the tying run at second with Juan Rivera coming up. Rivera doubled the lead off the 5th inning, and then he would score the lone Dodger run. Strike from Gallardo. Good pitch. That's been a good spot for him all night.
He's been able to keep it down the zone, and you know that pitch that's been around 87, 88 miles an hour has been a good one for Gallardo today. That cutter, slider, whatever you want to call it. It's been very effective.
To the right side, that'll advance the runner. But Rivera is out. A productive out as Ethier ends up at third base. Now the tying run 90 feet away with just 1 away. And that'll bring up James Loney, who singled in the 5th. Brewers are going to bring their infield in here. This is a spot where Gallardo could use a strikeout. He punched out Loney in the 2nd inning. Loney was his 2nd strikeout. Gallardo has 7 in this game. Pitch count's in good shape. He's at 87.
Yeah, runs are tough to come by in this game. Billingsley's dialed in.
Loney goes down the right field line. That's trouble. This game is tied as Loney jumps on the first pitch. And he is in there with an RBI double. James Loney, 2 hits tonight, evens it up at 2 apiece.
And another first pitch. It was a first pitch by Ethier. It looked like that cutter slider that Gallardo's been throwing, and it's the same pitch to Loney, and he rips it to the base of the wall and right. There it is, down and in. That's a dangerous location to a lefty. And he just rakes it down the line and right. So 2 breaking pitches to leadoff hitters, both lefties, and they've hit them both.
First pitch curveball for Loney as Uribe jumps on the first pitch. Juan Uribe is 0 for 2. He lined out in the 2nd inning, and it was his pop-up into shallow right back in the 5th that scored Rivera. That was the Weeks error after Ricky had caught the ball. In front of the plate, that's a fair ball. Lucroy going to 3rd, and Loney is retired.
Yeah, that's a nice play by Lucroy. Wow. Not a very good breakoff from second base for James Loney. Lucroy, quick as a cat, bounced on it and right away went to third base, and it wasn't even close. Just a little hesitation by Loney is all it took to get him at third. Nice throw. Made sure he had a good grip on it, and Ramirez with the tag.
So the Brewers cut down the lead runner. Uribe now at first base on the fielder's choice. 2 outs in the inning, and here is A.J. Ellis. Remember, he jumped on the first pitch, doubled into left center. Now Uribe on the run. Wild pitch to second base.
Another breaking ball from Gallardo. And same pitch down in the zone, and this one, and Lucroy not able to square up on it, and squirts far enough away to get Uribe to second.
Well, the go-ahead run at second base, and with that, Gallardo and Lucroy will walk A.J. Ellis. So Renicky, who does not offer too many intentional walks throughout the season, will take his chances with the Dodger pitcher coming up next.
Now this is an obvious situation with 2 outs. Billingsley hasn't looked very good at the plate. Ellis's last time up with a double. Don't take any chances. First walk issued by Gallardo tonight. He's been throwing strikes all night.
Well, Don Mattingly is going to make a change here. So Mattingly counters, removes Chad Billingsley after 6 innings.
Which isn't the worst thing in the world for the Brewers. Billingsley got dialed in after hitting Braun. Hasn't given up anything since. So the fact that they walked Ellis forces the hand of Mattingly, and now the Brewers are going to get into that bullpen.
Matt Guerrier will be next. He's the 7th inning pitcher. It's the Dodgers' answer to Jose Veras of the Brewers. And Rick Kranitz is on his way out to talk a little strategy here, as Adam Kennedy has been announced as the pinch hitter. Quick trip to the mound for Rick Kranitz. The first intentional walk of the season for the Brewers.
Hey, yesterday may have been an off day on the field, but not in the ticket office. The Brewers announced they eclipsed the 2 million mark for tickets sold this season. It's the earliest date in franchise history. The previous record was April 19th, 2001. Of course, last year the Brewers set an all-time franchise attendance record when more than 3 million people passed through the Miller Park turnstiles. Well done.
Yeah, it's a great feat. Great fans. We'll see if Gallardo can give him something to cheer about on the way out of this inning. A run is in to tie. 2 on, 2 out with Adam Kennedy at the plate, and there's strike 1. Kennedy and Ron Renicky go back to their Angels days. Kennedy was on that World Series championship team with the Angels back in '02. And there's a strike. 0-2 the count on Adam Kennedy.
Yeah, veteran guy's always been a tough out in these situations. Gotta make good pitches to this guy.
He was with Seattle all year last year. Back in the National League, Gallardo trying to finish the 7th inning off. The 0-2 pitch. In the air to left, shallow, tough play, long run for Braun. He's there, had him played perfectly. Inning over. A run is in. We're tied at 2 with the Brewers coming up.
7th inning, the Brewers Community Foundation had a winning 50-50 start to the season. Over the first 3-game series against the Cardinals, the 50-50 raffle generated $111,000. The opening day winner took home $28,223. I wish I knew that person. Fans, don't forget to purchase your 50-50 tickets. The community always wins as we support quality organizations that are focused on health, education, recreation, and basic needs. Brian?
All right, Telly, thanks. Well, our Jimmy John's high-speed delivery, Chad Billingsley, topping out at 93 miles an hour. He's out of the game now. Gallardo's spot is due up 4th in this inning. The new Dodger pitcher is Matt Guerrier, his 6th appearance. He's the new 7th inning pitcher for the Dodgers this season.
Yeah, he spent all of last year with LA. He's gone 5 consecutive years with 70 or more appearances. This guy works an awful lot.
Well, he led the American League in back-to-back years in games pitched while he was with the Twins. 70 games last year as a Dodger. As Matt Gamble leads it off. Gamble homered back in the 2nd. Well, the Brewers trying to get the lead back to give Gallardo a chance to win this game. Gamble shoots one through the hole, a base hit. And there's a good start to the bottom of the 7th inning. Matt Gamble has 2 hits tonight.
And not a bad pitch by Guerrero. I mean, that ball was down, but Matt able to go down and get it. You know, that uppercut, check it out. I mean, that pitch was a good sinker, trying to get away from him, but bends the knees, goes down after it, and hits it hard into right. That's a good swing.
So Gamble, with a home run, a single, he lined out sharply in the 4th inning. Kemp made a nice catch on him, sliding catch. Here's Lucroy. He tripled in the 2nd inning. He figures to be a good matchup against Guerrier. He's a low ball hitter. Dodgers have an excellent bullpen. I feel like they can get to the end of a ball game if they have the lead after 6 innings, with Guerrier working the 7th. Kenley Jansen is their setup man, a flamethrower, and then Javi Guerra is their closer.
Yeah, don't be surprised if Lucroy is going to bunt here. Maybe not.
Takes a strike.
And you get a 1-run lead. You bring on K-Rod and Axford. And you got these tourists on deck, and then probably a pinch hitter. And Dodgers think he's bunting. You got Uribe on the grass on at 3rd. Of course, Lucroy, one of your hottest hitters.
And Lucroy with a batting average of .375 now after his triple. He's 9 for 24 at the plate, has 2 home runs. He's driven in 6. And it's 0-2.
And when Guerrero's on, he's a good ground ball pitcher. He's got a heavy sinker, 90-91, curveball, slider. They're looking for a ground ball right now. Pretty good numbers, almost 500 appearances and an ERA under 3.5.
Most of that was with the Twins, 7 years in Minnesota. He was part of their playoff runs. Lucroy lays off. Good take there from Lucroy. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matt Gamble started the inning with a single. He's at first. Dodgers tied it in the top of this inning. And a good play by A.J. Ellis keeps Gamble at first base. Gamble was ready to run. That ball skips away from Ellis. He was ready to go.
And that curveball, that type of curveball is tough to keep in front of you because it breaks down so quickly, and Sometimes you don't know what kind of a bounce you're going to get. He did a nice job with that pitch.
Ellis has already thrown out one base runner. He caught Ryan Braun trying to steal. 2-2. And strike 3 called as Lucroy is rung up by Jim Reynolds, and he is not pleased with that call.
I don't blame him. That backup slider that might have been in off the plate. Jim Reynolds hearing it now from the Brewers dugout. That looked like it might have been in. Maybe too close to take with 2 strikes, but that pitch fooled everybody. Might have been high, too. And you throw a slider, you backdoor it like that, and you end up getting the call.
That's a big out. 1 away now. Here's Ethier trying to bunt for a hit. This is where the Brewers miss a bat like Alex Gonzalez. A home run threat. Ethier starting his 3rd consecutive game for Gonzalez, who is back in Miami. He's with his wife. They delivered a baby Saturday. It is expected that Gonzalez will return for the game tomorrow, but the Brewers just don't know. So instead it is Ethier. Ethier drove in a run in the 2nd. And a bouncer foul just past the bag at first. Gallardo's spot is due up next. K-Rod loosening in the bullpen. The 0-2. Gamble goes. It's a ball. Gamble is safe at second. Big stolen base from Matt Gamble.
Yeah, he picked a good pitch. It was a curveball, and curveball take a little bit longer to get there. And there's that quick release by Ellis. That decent jump. Gamble looks in, and because it was a curveball, ball just does get a little bit late. And Gamble with his second bag. Actually, 3rd stolen base for Matty.
Has more stolen bases already this year in the big leagues than he did all last year at AAA. That was a big one there. Now a base hit, and the Brewers could possibly take the lead. 1-2 on Ethier. And a curveball missed. 2-2.
When you take off and they throw a fastball, it might be a different situation. It's all about, the count and picking a pitch. And you remember when Lucroy was up on 0-2, he threw a curveball, so maybe they were expecting it.
Ethier has collected his first hit of the season in Atlanta. Had a hit earlier tonight. He's 2 for 12 on the year. Drove in his first run as a Brewer. The former Dodgers, Cesar Ethier, up in a big spot. And that one's into center field. Kemp will take it on a hop. Gamble had to make sure he cannot score, but the Brewers with runners at 1st and 3rd. And how about Cesar Ethier with a couple of hits tonight?
And I think Matt Kemp upset with himself because he gave up on that ball pretty quick. That ball fell in front of him, and I think he could have caught it. I think he is upset with himself at this point. Check it out. Good at bat, though, by Ethier. There's that sinker that was up in the strike zone. Ethier able to wait back, got it down on the handle a little bit. But now watch Matt Kemp. He's playing shallow. He stops. I think if he keeps going, he makes that catch. And Matty not able to score because he thought that ball was going to be caught.
So here is Nori Aoki. He'll pinch hit for Gallardo. Reneke's going to take a shot at it. This is one of his favorite times to squeeze bunt. 1st and 3rd, and Aoki squares. This is the play. Joe Madden made it famous. Reneke And Joe Madden implemented this with the Angels with Mike Scioscia. It's indefensible with a good bunt because you can do just that. You can pull the bat back, take the pitch. If you get the bunt down, Gamble scores and the runners advance.
Yeah, and when you're waving a bat in front of a catcher's eyes like that, and a lot of times the guy can't see it and it goes to the screen. You never know where the baseball is going to end up without an Okie at the plate. This guy could slap that ball anywhere.
He was hired for this specific moment right here. Men on late in the game. He squares. He gets it down. Foul. And it's a ball and a strike.
That's not a suicide squeeze. It's a safety squeeze, something the Brewers have used already this year. Yeah, the hitter drops it down. The runner has to read it off the bat to see if he can go in and score. Now watch Gamble. Once the ball's down, he feels as though he can score. He takes off.
Two-two game. Aoki hitting for Gallardo. Still just one out. And Billingsley. Not a bad idea. I check it. Career. Billingsley goes 6. Gallardo 7. Each giving up 2 runs. It is again, and Aoki takes a ball.
That'd be a good opportunity for his tourists to take off here. A lot going on. The infield is halfway. It'd be tough for them to throw him out. If you take off, you stop halfway, and maybe Gamble might be able to score. That's the 7th inning. You feel as though it's like the 9th.
A lot of strategy here. There he goes again. Gets the bunt down. And it's a suicide squeeze. Gamble scores. Aoki gets the job done. And the Brewers have the lead 3-2. That was no safety squeeze there. Yeah. Gamble was on the move.
Yeah, I'll tell you, talk about getting into a pitcher's head, huh? Beautiful. 4 consecutive pitches. Aoki squares around. This time, Gamble takes off on the delivery, and good job by Aoki to get it on the ground. Well, not only do you get the run in, but you get these tourists into scoring position for Ricky.
Gamble safe at home, safe and secure. New York life, and the Brewers have a 3-2 lead. It's beautiful baseball right there. And Aoki, such great control with the bat. Now we'll see if Weeks can add to it. His career deals him strike 1. Ricky Weeks at the plate tonight, presented by Wendy's. 2 hits, back-to-back doubles in his first 2 at-bats. With a message, perhaps.
I had Ricky leaning. It was a curveball. Not much of a message with a curveball. They just hung it.
Now the Brewers have taken the lead, and Francisco Rodriguez ready to enter this game in the 8th. Weeks into center. That ball's got some heat on it. Back is Kemp, reaches up, and he makes the catch. What a play. Matt Kemp robbing Weeks of extra bases on a rocket to center field. Outstanding play, but the Brewers play a little small ball. Aoki brings in the go-ahead run with a suicide squeeze.
once again with a look ahead to your forecast for tomorrow's Brewers game. Well, temperatures on the upswing once again as the wind flow returns in out of the southwest in advance of an approaching system that could still trigger an isolated shower or thunderstorm.
And that's why it's good to have a roof. Our Miller Lite, what's on tap? The Brewers and the Dodgers tomorrow from Miller Park. 6:30 is airtime. Don't forget Thursday is a matinee. And it's early. It's an 11:30 airtime with a first pitch just after noon. Zach Greinke tomorrow against Chris Capuano. Randy Wolf and Aaron Harang go on Thursday. Great catch by Matt Kemp to end the last inning. But Nori Aoki is the headliner right now, dropping down a beautiful bunt. Gamble steals a big base.
It's not often you're going to see a Brewers offense manufacture a run like that. Maybe times have changed around here, huh?
Yeah, no longer Harvey's wall bangers. Huh?
No longer sitting back waiting for the 3-run home run. You gotta make hay when the sun shines, right? Take an opportunity. Rodriguez in for the 6th time this year. He got roughed up on Friday against the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, Rodriguez will match up against the top of the Dodger order. So this is a key inning for Rodriguez. With the big sluggers coming up, if anybody gets on, Ethier will hit in this inning. Gordon, Ellis, and Kemp to start it. Gordon is 1 out of 3. He broke our microphone. Take you back to the Matt Kemp catch. This is a Gold Glove center fielder here, folks.
Yeah, look how shallow he plays, and he knew exactly where he was this time, and it didn't fool him that time. That deep warning track. Nice catch, Matt Kemp, taking away an extra base hit for Ricky.
Oh, he's so big, you forget how fast he is, how quick he is. Little flare, Braun coming in right there. Another great scouting report, well positioned. Braun's been in the perfect spot twice to make plays tonight.
These scouting reports are dead on, aren't they? I mean, it's tough to get hits like that. Now that's D. Gordon's game. I mean, slapping the ball in the left. That ball was in very shallow left field and was an easy catch.
And we'll send him a bill for that shotgun microphone. Sure, he'll pick it up. Ellis fouls it back. Well, Gallardo can win here tonight. Giovanni goes 7 innings. Gives up 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned.
Right, he's been spot on his last 2 starts after a shaky one to start the season.
Popped him up. He's going to stay playable. Nope. Heads to the seats. 0-2 the count on Ellis. Elrock Gallardo. 7 strikeouts tonight of the Dodgers.
Yep, and only 1 walk. It was intentional. A couple of runs. Our Pizza Hut delivery of the game. So back-to-back starts for Giovanni Gallardo. Outstanding work. Boy, he's back.
0-2 the count as K-Rod works to Mark Ellis. Here's a 1-2. Broken bat. That's going to fall. A base hit. That's a big hit for the Dodgers. That brings Matt Kemp to the plate, representing the go-ahead run. So Ellis shatters his bat, but comes up with his first hit of the night.
Yep, breaking ball in on him, and he got on base. First time that Matt Kemp's batted with a man on base. So the Brewers have done a nice job not allowing him to drive in any runs. And breaking ball up off the end of the bat and got himself a base hit.
And now the league's leading hitter, the reigning player of the week, Matt Kemp. 1 gone, runner at first. Big is some swing speed, and Rodriguez, as he does so well when the hitter's geared up, he just gets a little slower, takes a little off.
Yep, Dodgers have been having a lot of success on the first pitch, so K-Rod starts him off with a breaking ball.
Didn't miss by much. Never had a hit against Francisco Rodriguez in his career. Very limited matchups with him. You'd think there'd be more. K-Rod's time as a Met. There it is. Back to the spot. Gets the call this time.
Yep.
1-2.
A little bit more on the plate. Right on the black. This time Jim Reynolds rings it up. Well, now you can go a lot of different ways with Matt Kemp here. Seemed as though he was looking breaking ball in that last pitch.
Gonna go with his signature, his changeup. And Lucroy does a nice job to block it. That keeps the tying run still at first. Kemp is very fast, as he showed us last inning, running down that line drive from Weeks. But he takes a big swing as well, so on a firm ground ball you got a chance to turn two. One gone, 2-2 on Matt Kemp. And a swing and a miss. Down he goes. Francisco Rodriguez with his first strikeout.
Well, you couldn't walk it across any better than that. What a great sequence by Francisco Rodriguez. And that's what got into the head of Matt Kemp. That first pitch, breaking pitch that he swung through. That made it 1-2. And here he goes again with a slider to get him. Perfect pitch on the outside corner down in the strike zone. Well done.
So Kemp is gone. 1 for 4 tonight is Kemp. 2 away in the inning. Here's Andre Ethier. And they'll ask if he went. Ethier able to check his swing. Ethier second in the league at RBIs to start play today, trailing his teammate Matt Kemp. Ethier 15 ribbies. Tonight he's 1 for 3. All of those at bats against Gallardo. Doubled and scored against Gallardo last inning. He scored the tying run at the time. Career numbers against K-Rod. Ethier is back and healthy. Knee surgery last September. Had a down year last year, but he's off to a fast start in 2012. In the air, pretty well hit. Niger Morgan is back at the wall. There it goes. Andre Ethier with a 2-run homer, and the Dodgers have the lead.
Yeah, it went with a fastball, and Ethier with some big-time opposite field power. How many home runs does Andre Ethier have against Milwaukee? Boy, I tell you, he's tough. Opposite field. You see that fastball was up in the strike zone. Rodriguez knew it right away. Boy, it was not Matt Kemp, it's Andre Ethier. That's the way it's been in the first couple of weeks for the Dodgers.
2-run shot for Ethier. He takes over the league lead in RBIs. Well, the Brewers working so hard to score a single run in the bottom of the 7th. Ethier with one swing of the bat gives LA the lead. That's home run number 4 for Ethier. The Looking ahead to the Brewer 8th inning. It'll be Morgan, Braun, and Ramirez. Francisco Rodriguez has struggled his last 2 times out. He took a loss against the Atlanta Braves on Friday night. Popped him up. Corey Hart coming in. And the inning is over. Damage done, though. Andre Ethier, a 2-run homer. The Brewers are behind 4-3.
Far in this game, a 2-run home run off Francisco Rodriguez. The Dodgers have a 4-3 lead right now as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Craig Kashan back on the broadcast getting ready for Brewers Live postgame. We're going to get Jerry Augustine back up here and continue our pitcher-catcher relationship with Rock during our instructional coming up during our postgame. Also get inside the Brewer clubhouse as well and hopefully see the Brewers rally. They got a 4-game losing streak going. They're back at home, the first of 9 here from Miller Park. So let's see what the Brew Crew can do the rest of the way. Again, Brewers Live postgame coming up in just a few. Brian and Bill.
All right, Craig, thanks. And the new Dodger left fielder, now that they have the lead, Mattingly sending out Tony Gwynn Jr., a former Brewer, defensive specialist. And he'll make the double switch here with Kenley Jansen, the hard-throwing setup man for Los Angeles.
Yeah, 51 games last year for the Dodgers and a 285 earned run average. Getting banged around a little bit with an ERA over 5 at this point.
Nigel Morgan leads off. Brewers down a run. Ethier, a 2-run homer in the top of this inning, giving Los Angeles their first lead of the game. And Morgan quickly down on the count, 0-2. Francisco Rodriguez gave up just 1 home run as a Brewer last year. 31 games. Down goes Morgan. Jansen, big fastball upstairs. Morgan retired, out number 1. And here comes Ryan Braun again batting with nobody on base.
Yeah, they say this guy can get it near 100. That last one about 91. And a good slider. And anytime you get something in the 90s up around the belt, it's going to be tough to get to.
A strike to Braun. A spinner from Jansen. That gives you a good idea of his arm. You can put a little wrinkle on it, still get it to 91 miles per hour.
Yeah, not many can throw a slider in the 90s.
Oh, and 2 to Braun. The Brewers were all set up the way they wanted it. Scored a go-ahead run in the 7th. Turned the ball over to Francisco Rodriguez. But Andre Ethier struck with 2 outs. 2-run homer.
I'd say those two have been responsible for the lion's share of the offense for the Dodgers, and including tonight, they've driven in 33 of the 54 runs the Dodgers have scored.
Wow,
that's amazing. 2 guys.
Number 1 and 2 in the league in RBIs. Braun strikes out. 2 up, 2 down on 2 Ks for Kenley Jansen.
They started him out with a slider and then back-to-back fastballs. That one on the inside corner. Hey, something's wrong with the gun here at Miller Park. That was at 92. It seems like it's a lot quicker than that.
So here is Aramis Ramirez now. 2 away, nobody on. And there's strike 1. He's just pouring them in. Ramirez looking for his first home run as a Brewer. He's late. 0-2 the count. As of right now, Matt Guerrier is the man in the winner's circle for Los Angeles. The Dodgers hang on. Neither starter will factor in the decision. Gallardo had the lead briefly until the home run by Ethier. Giovanni went 7, 2 earned runs. Billingsley went 6, 2 earned runs as well. Ramirez, center field. Kemp is back, and he's there. Hit it hard, but Matt Kemp hauls it in. 1-2-3 inning for Jansen and the Dodgers. It's a tight one here at Miller Park, but the Dodgers have the lead as we go to the 9th inning. 4-3 is our score. Francisco Rodriguez giving up a 2-run homer to Andre Ethier with 2 outs in the 8th. So it's Jose Veras to work the Dodger ninth, and the bottom of the order coming up.
Yeah, last pitched on Saturday against the Braves and threw a scoreless inning. Talking about appearances, Veras had 79 appearances with the Pirates last year. And appearance number 5 here tonight.
Brewers acquired him for Casey McGee in an offseason trade with the Pirates. Those 79 games that he pitched in last season tied him for second in the National League last year. He is on to try to keep the Dodgers at 4 and give the Brewers a chance in the bottom of the 9th inning. James Loney will lead off for Los Angeles. Dodgers coming here 9-1. They've won 6 straight.
Well, they're showing you why too. I mean, good solid pitching. Billingsley struggled early, but boy, he settled down nicely. Their bullpen, they got some arms down there, and they've been manufacturing runs, and they've got Andre Ethier and Matt Kemp. That's the offense, those two guys.
Dodgers are an excellent defensive team as well, at least through the first 10 games. They've only committed 4 errors this year. And their shortstop, B. Gordon, has 3 of those 4. That one's hit hard. Center field, Morgan is there. Seen a lot of line drive outs to center field. Loney tagged that one. Our Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin text question, Frank in Waukesha asks, what is more impressive between Braun and Kemp, power or speed? They both have it.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, both of them. I mean, not many can do both. You're either like a D. Gordon type that, you know, slaps it around and can run, steal bases, or you're a guy that sits back and hits home runs. Not many can do both.
You talked about those 2 players in our open today, and you talked about 5-tool players. You hear that a lot in scouting terms, but there aren't many who are 5-tool players. Kemp and Braun certainly are. That's kind of the gold standard in the game of baseball, the 5 tools.
Yeah, good range, good defensively. You got a good arm. You hit for power. You can steal bases, and you can hit for average. You know, there aren't. You can count on one hand the guys that can do all those. And 2 of them in the ballpark here tonight.
Monteribe, ball and a strike on him. And that one missed. 2-1. In scout slang, you might hear guys talk about another player that he saw and say, well, he's a 2-tool. He's a 3-tool. But you mentioned he's a 5-tool, and you get attention quickly.
Right. Those are the guys that make big bucks.
Hot one to third. Ramirez bobbles, has time, and the throw is there. Uribe hit it on the nose. Ramirez was patient, gets out number 2.
Yeah, didn't panic, did he? I mean, he played it in front of him, which was good. He played off to the side. That's down in the corner. Able to knock it down, didn't panic, and picked it up and threw him out.
See the numbers for Ramirez defensively. 1 error this year. So 2 gone. And here's A.J. Ellis. Well, the Brewers wish they could have 1 pitch back right now. Andre Ethier homering off K-Rod in the 8th to give the Dodgers the lead.
Veras bringing it up there, you know, big time tonight. 95 with that last one.
Big curveball buckled the knees of Ellis. That's the equalizer there. 1-2 the count. 6'6" Jose Veras. 2 outs in the 9th. And Ellis doesn't chase. The Brewers will have Corey Hart, Matt Gamble, and Jonathan Lucroy in the 9th inning. Coming back to the hook. Got him. Veras strikes out Ellis. Inning over. There's a Veras hold serve. Now can the Brewers come up with some Miller Park magic? They're down a run. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Corey Hart will lead off. There's a difference between an ending and a finish. Endings are imposed and inflicted. A swing and a miss. Inning over. And John Oxford saves another one. Finishes are earned and celebrated. Morgan way back, and that is your ball game. And he swings in the air, center field, way back, and there it goes. It's the last word. The closing act, the final step, the whole point. We don't remember the start. We never forget the finish. Morgan, a smash up the middle, base hit to center. Here comes Gomez, around third, a throw, and the Brewers win. Well, the Brewers going to make another memory here tonight. Corey Hart will lead off against the Dodger closer, Javi Guerra. Nothing wrong with his right arm as Javi Guerra gets it up there in the mid-90s. Brewers are down a run. Bottom of the 9th. Hart, Gamble, and Lucroy due up. Hart shoots one into left field. A base hit. And there's the start. The base runner you're looking for. The tying run is aboard for Gamble. And that reminds us of Matt Gamble's first at-bat in the 2nd inning. Marshfield Clinic's shining moment of the game.
Well, cut fastball, and he hit his first of the year. It was off to a good start in the 2nd inning.
Hart will be lifted for a pinch runner. And the fastest Brewer is aboard, Carlos Gomez.
I'd say that was a nice at-bat by Corey Hart. And Guerra threw him a mid-90s fastball, then followed it up with a curveball, and Corey Hart able to wait back and bang it into left.
We'll see if Gomez is on the run here. Javi Guerra already has 5 saves. 10 days into the season. Gamble in a big spot.
Well, one thing's for sure, you're not going to have Matt Gamble dropping down a bunt because you're better off just allowing Gomez to steal.
Gamble could end it with one swing of the bat.
Guerra pretty quick to home plate. I mean, for a closer, he gets rid of it in pretty good shape for his catcher. Most closers take a while to get rid of it.
Hasn't been a closer long. He's been very successful, though. He's converted 26 of 28 save opportunities in his career. Just 2 blown saves. As Gamble fouls it away. 1-1 on Matt Gamble.
And not many closers are going to give you a slide step with a man at first base.
A good point.
They're going to make it tough on Gomez. If he gets any kind of jump, he's going to be able to outrun the throw from Ellis. Not a big arm, but a quick release.
Brewers are down a run. Bottom of the 9th. Tying run at first in Gomez. So far tonight, the Brewers have 1 steal. That was Gamble. And 1 caught stealing. That was Braun. Ball and a strike on Gamble. And he's late. And it's 1-2. Javi Guerra is a big fastball. 21 saves a year ago. Established himself as the Dodger closer last season. Ellis wants a fastball up. There goes Gomez, high and tight, throw to second. Gomez is safe. Just got a hand in there.
Yeah, that's about as close as it gets for Gomez. I mean, that's about as close as we've seen to get him thrown out. Well, with that speed, I mean, you can't teach that. You know, a decent jump, but it's the speed that beats the play. Good throw by Ellis. Just not quick enough. Yeah, good call at second base.
Yeah, great call. James Hoy was there. The tying run in scoring position now. The 2-2 to Gamble, and he fouls it away. That pitch that Gomez stole the base on, it was almost by Ellis. I think he was looking for something up and away. Guerra came up and in.
Why do you think he called it up? It's easier to throw in a pitch up in the strike zone. That's why he did that.
Even with that, Gomez swipes second. The second steal of the year. 2-2, and Guerra trying to keep Gomez close. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not afraid to take off to third base, but you know, with nobody out, you're better off just staying there. Maybe 1 out, you might want to risk it. And particularly easier for the catcher with a left-handed batter up.
Gamble's hoping for a mistake. That is 3 balls and 2 strikes on Gamble. He has had 3 great at-bats tonight. Gamble's 2 for 3, but his out was a line drive that Matt Kemp made a sliding catch on in center. Pick-off play and almost thrown away. D. Gordon keeps that one from center field.
It doesn't have to get away much to have Gomez get to third base. Threw it before he squared up. Good play by D. Gordon to keep it in the infield.
He'll do it again. Another payoff pitch. Gamble spoils it. I'll tell you, Carlos Gomez is a game changer on the bases. He has everybody's attention right now.
Yes, he does.
It affects the way the Dodgers defend in the outfield. It keeps Gordon close to second base. There's a hole over there between third and short. Ball four. Gamble draws the walk. And there's the potential winning run aboard.
And don't think that a little bit of that was Carlos Gomez. I mean, Guerra really trying to quicken up his delivery. He rushed himself, and he saw what happened. That wasn't even close.
Crowd chants Luke as Jonathan Lucroy comes up. You like the bunt here, partner?
I do, big time. Yep, you get both of them in scoring position. What you don't want to do is have Lucroy swing away and hit a ground ball. That's the last thing you want. You don't want to double play. Honeycutt on his way out to figure out what they want to do here. And you would figure that Ron Rennike's going to have Lucroy dropping down a bunt.
The Brewers are down a run. Guerra comes into this game, the Dodger closer, with 5 saves on the year. More saves than the Brewers have wins. They're trying to turn the tables on him here tonight.
And the one disadvantage the Brewers have, remember, they're short-handed tonight. Oki is in the game already. Gomez, and you only have Ishikawa and George Kataris. Both of them lefties, but you got his tourists on deck, and then a pinch hitter.
You can see the Dodgers with the meeting. Uribe is the man calling the signals in the infield. They're talking about the bunt play. Who's going to take what? Uribe, if it's a good bunt towards third, he's going to have to get back to the bag at third base. Lucroy squares. Boy, buzz bomb upstairs.
Yeah, that'll keep you honest in that box. Now you bunt toward third, you make Uribe field the baseball, then they don't have a play at third unless they put the wheel on. They didn't have that play on the first pitch.
That's the key defender. If Lucroy gets a bunt down, he squares again, and it's ball 2. It's not out of the question that Gomez would take off with a pitch.
It's not out of the question. Lucroy might swing away now. You figure this has got to be a fastball, and it's probably going to be right down the middle.
4-3 Dodgers. Tying run at second, winning run at first. Lucroy squares, and the bunt down the third base line, foul. Another thing to keep in mind with Gomez's speed, if Uribe makes a throw to first, he might try to score. He's done it before. See what is on here. He squares again, and he bunts it foul.
Yep.
So it's 2-2 now on Lucroy.
That ball down in the zone. It might have been ball 3. The barrel of the bat dropped and popped it up. Now what do? You have him bunt again? That's why the manager gets the big bucks.
Yeah. Tough spot, huh?
Tough spot, real tough.
Lucroy is one of the better bunters on the team, but he's also a hot hitter. 2-2. Tying run at second. Lucroy swings and misses. Down he goes on strikes. And a big out for Javi Guerra.
That looked like a split-fingered fastball right there, and a slider, something like that. Boy, good pitch, and Lucroy not able to hold up on it. That's a big out, to say the least. Now a double play ends the game.
Well, Cesar Torres scheduled to hit. He's lifted for a pinch hitter, and it's going to be George Kataris. And that brings to mind if the Brewers end up tying this game and going to extra innings, they're without a shortstop.
There is a plan for that, though. Ron Renicky always has a plan, and
Renicky was saying he'd move Ramirez to short most likely and have Gamble play third. He's hoping they don't have to come to that as Kataris is up there to try to do some damage. He takes a ball.
Yeah, Rip run down that line and watch Matt Gamble run.
Kataris with 3 homers this year. Tying run at second. And there's a strike. Backdoor slider from Guerra.
I think he got crossed up. Ellis, he did a nice job catching that baseball. I don't think he was expecting a breaking ball. See, he catches it awkwardly, and I don't think that was a strike either.
George Kataris pinch hitting with the game on the line here in the 9th. And it's 2-1. Brewers have the pitcher spot due up next. Travis Ishikawa has already moved into the on-deck circle. So Ron Renicky is emptying out the bag here in the 9th inning. Kataris has the count in his favor, and he swings and pops it up. Back is Ellis, and that one's in the seats. 2-2 to Kataris.
Yeah, good pitch to hit for George. He likes the fastball, and he got one up. Yeah, a little bit late on it. Yeah, George liked to have that one back. He's saying throw that again.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, and a high drive and a right center, and that ball is down. Gamble scores. Here comes Gamble. The throw to the plate as he bang in. What a finish! 5-4, the Brewers beat the Dodgers.
I tell you, some kind of a start to the season with George Kataris. He just roped that one into right center. Very aggressive, and you would figure he would be. Ed Cedar sending Matt Gamble, and a great slide by Gamble to get the plate. And the Brewers win. Wow, what a game, huh?
What a finish here. The Brewers with 2 in the 9th inning. As George Kataris delivers with a big hit.
Well, he gave him the same pitch. And George able to center on it. Boy, he put the sweet spot on that pitch, and he ropes it into the gap. The only question was Matt Gamble going to be able to score from first base? Ed Cedar being very aggressive. He sent him. This is an Andre Ethier thing. I got to get this ball in, hit the cutoff man to get a play at the plate. Now look at the slide by Gamble. Boy, just barely missing the tag, and he got the plate with his hand. Boy, what a finish. How about George? What a year. What a year he's having already.
George Kataris, the man of the hour, and he is with Telly Hughes.
That's right, B.A. How about George? You come up in that situation. What's on your mind? What's the thought process when you step up to the plate?
Just trying to have a good at-bat. You know, I got their closer in the game, and just trying to go up there and, you know, just try and do my best to get a knot and hit it, and, you know, hit a double and got 2 runs, and it was
uh-oh. You knew that was coming. Well, that was well deserved. I'll help you out a little bit here because I've had a little experience with that. There you go. But back to the game. Just talk about the fight, not giving up in this game, knowing that you guys needed a win to end that 4-game skid and start this 9-game homestand off on the right foot.
Yeah, like we said earlier, our team plays one at a time, and we never gave up, and we just fell behind, when we had the lead, but it shows our guys never give up.
And what about the start you're off to this season? I mean, you've come up with some big home runs as well as a game-winning hit tonight. Just talk about the start you're off to.
Just one of those things. I can't really explain it. Just trying to have good at-bats, like I said, always, and just never give up.
Hey, good luck tonight. Well, good game tonight.
Thanks, Tyler.
All right, that's George Kataris. Let's send it out to Craig Kashan for a preview of Brewers Live.
All right, Telly, what a finish here. We talked to George Kataris already. Plenty more Brewers to come. How about Matt Gamble? Big night for him as well. We have a very good instructional involving a pro catcher and pro pitcher. Plus, we'll hear from Ron Rennick.